All right. Okay, here it comes. Enjoy the show, everyone. In 3, 2, 1.
This is the new baby in our family. A baby doll. A famous doll. Archie Bunker's grandson, Joey Stivic. So, of course, he's special. Your child can give him a drink from his bottle, then he wets. And when his diaper is changed, it's clear that Joey Stivic is a physically correct boy doll. My husband and I think that's terrific.
Archie Bunker's grandson, Joey Stivic, by Ideal, is a physically correct boy doll.
What a great idea.
Canada!
The morning stream. The morning stream.
The Morning Stream. It's like this show that you're listening to right now, but better.
The morning stream.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is the morning stream for Tuesday, May 11th, 2021. I'm Scott Johnson with Brian Ibbett. Hi, Brian.
Hi, Scott. How are you?
I'm good. I watched Akira again, which is why this happened.
Canada!
Because it's a great movie.
Tetsuo! Canada!
Oh, that's good. Every time we have a Canadian thing.
Canada. My homeland.
Every time Jeff writes in or something, we should play that.
Canada!
It's our Canada reference.
Totally should. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Did you know there was a doll based on Archie Bunker's grandson?
I had no idea, and I had no idea that it was, what was their term? Physically correct?
Physically
Not
correct
anatomically
boy
correct,
doll.
but physically correct.
Physically correct boy doll is their words.
Just say he has a penis.
Yeah.
Golly. Just, you know.
Isn't that weird? It's weird.
Physically
Just
correct
say that
boy
he's got
doll.
a meathead.
Yeah. His head is of meat. He is of meat.
He's got a meathead. Yeah, eat it.
Oh, man. Ask your great uncle on that one. That's a
Right,
long time
exactly.
ago.
It's a stellar Carol O'Connor impersonation
That's
that
pretty
4
good.
people will say. That's pretty good, Brad.
Still can't quite get over the idea that the guy's name was Carol, but that's just me. Anyway, the next time you see your doll, check and see.
Physically correct boy doll.
Is it a physically correct boy doll?
Physically correct boy doll.
All right. Hey, we're gonna. I guess there was
at all talking about a doll with a penis.
there was a trend there for a while. I think in the '70s where they were making a big deal out of, hey, kids should see what's going on down there, down south.
Maybe
you know?
Betsy Wetsy or whatever it was called. Yep.
Yeah. It's like here's a little JJ. Here's a little Pedro going to Virginia. You know. And they enjoyed themselves. Anyway, it's the 2020s now, so different time, different place, and we're here. I got some advice right at the top of the show because this is important. I think I may have found the source of my weird dream problem. And,
oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think you don't remember your dreams or have them very often because I already know how you've solved this. So this will make sense in a second.
Sure.
So last night I said to myself, before I go to bed here, I'm going to make a point of when I'm having a dream and I feel myself kind of jolted awake by it, which happens a lot, which is why I think I remember these so well. I'm going to look and see what time it is. My theory is, my feeling during the night is it's happening all night long. That's the feeling of it. But the theory is, in actuality, it's only happening at a certain time.
The weird dream is only happening at a certain time.
Right, or any dreams. It's just happening at like one time, and it's the thing that's making me restless and wake up and everything.
Before you go into deep sleep, you're in that REM sleep, and
sure, or who knows? But my
you're
thinking,
losing your religion.
Losing my religion. That's me in the corner, by the way. It's me in the corner. So I hear, or I feel like if I looked at the clock, it would at least tell me something, and I don't even have to do much other than note it. Just like, okay, what time was that? Okay, tomorrow I'll figure out. So I did this.
Oh, I gotcha. So you're remembering your dreams because you're kind of planting a flag in time with the clock.
Right. Or moreover, I'm trying to find out if I'm having all these dreams at the same time every day, because I think that's what's happening. So here's what happens. This what I thought was middle of the night, I have a big sequence of weird dreams, and I wake up. It's almost 6 o'clock in the morning when this is happening.
Okay.
I'm up in less than an hour anyway, right? Like it's not. But in my head and in my restfulness, I'm thinking, oh, it's like 3. Why is this happening? That's how it feels. But I look at the clock and it's like, oh, it's like I'm 45 minutes from getting up anyway. Like no big deal. And I wonder, I'm going to do it again tonight. I wonder if all of this is happening at my latest stage of sleep. Like I'm about to get up anyway, and I actually did have a good night's sleep. I actually slept from 10:30 or 11 all the way straight up until 6:30. Maybe it was totally fine. It's just that tail end, there's like some kind of blowout of dream blowout where I just go, bleh, dreams, bleh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Interesting. Okay.
And maybe you avoid it because you get up at like 4 and then stay up.
Well, last night I didn't fall asleep until about midnight, and then I slept right until 6.
Oh,
so
that's not bad.
yeah, I think if I just shift, if I just shift the sleep business, then I don't wake up as early. I normally get up at 6 anyway. Like I normally, and lately, last night aside, it's like 5:30 that I wake up. But
you're the only person I've known in my life who is both at the same time a morning and a night person at the same time.
yeah, I know, I really am. If I could figure out some way to I don't know, maybe a midday nap or something is what I need, right? Just like
quick power nap. Although people that claim they can do like a 20-minute power nap, well, that's dark magic. I can't do that.
I don't know what they're talking about.
No.
Exactly. I tried doing that for a little bit and could not do it. But
I literally can't do it. I can't even come close to it. I'll lay there for 20 minutes being annoyed that I'm laying there for 20 minutes. It's not going to happen.
Right.
So for those, if you got some tips, just throw those our way. Yeah.
A dark, comfortable box.
Yep.
Like basically you just put yourself into a little hyperbaric chamber or something.
Yeah.
And
and let us know, because we need to learn how to be better sleeping men.
It's not happening here.
We're bad sleeping men is what we are.
Bad sleeping men.
Okay, speaking of bad men.
Yes.
Not really,
very
but
bad men. Bad men, Jerry. Very bad.
Very bad, very bad. I love that guy. Michael wrote in. This is from Michael. He sent this email to themorningstream@gmail.com, and he says the following. This is in regards to those Mickey D's or McDonald's ice cream machines always being broken when people go buy them.
Right.
And Michael says, hey, I recently heard you talking about these ice cream machines at McDonald's, and I recently discovered this journalist who did a whole investigation and found something underhanded, and a lawsuit was even involved.
Oh, wow.
He used to make videos for Vox News, but now, because of the pandemic, he has turned to YouTube for his work. So he's an independent filmmaker guy. You may have heard of John Harris since he went to BYU. Oh, I know who John. I've actually seen some of his work. All right. I didn't know it was the same guy.
He's got a hard-hitting expose, apparently, about McDonald's ice cream machines.
Apparently. He was a BYU film student, spent a lot of time in Utah, and even did a video documenting him doing the rare subway hike on his channel. Anyway, his short video on ice cream machines is available up on YouTube. Love the show. Keep it up, Michael. So I haven't watched this yet, but I'm gonna. But apparently it goes deep into, like, what's the frickin' deal, and there's more. It's more nefarious than you think, whatever that means.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I think they're just faultily made and easily prone to breakage.
I mean, that's Occam's razor, and I agree with it. However, I like in a world filled with really dumb conspiracy theories.
Yeah, this is a conspiracy that'd be kind of fun.
This
to
would be
believe
fun. Yeah, this would be a good time to have a conspiracy theory around McDonald's ice cream stuff. I had to listen to somebody yesterday go on for, I don't know how long that person talked. And it's a long story. I'm not going to get into it, but talking about how they've got video that will prove the Earth is flat, and they finally got someone who got all the way to the ice wall and was able to get back with video of it and all this bullshit.
Where did you listen to this person for that long?
It's a long story. It was a Zoom call I didn't want to be on. Let's just say that. If I say any more, there's a certain person who listens to this who's going to get mad at me for bringing it up.
Well, I imagine this certain person who listens who knows you were on a Zoom call already.
Yeah, they know. I just don't. If I give too many details, it's going to implicate them. But
gotcha.
But
okay.
they claim there's a giant ice wall at the end of the. Yeah, then that's how you know where the edge is.
That's where Jon Snow lives.
That's right. That's man on the wall.
That's right. And he basically, no, you can't go any further. Halt. The edge of the world is right behind me. Right. Turn around, go home.
And the big thing in the past is people have always said, this is a long time theory, I guess, amongst the flat earthers, but no one had ever gotten proof or, even video.
Yeah.
And so the claim right now is that, somebody's gotten through there with video. They weren't able to confiscate it. Now we'll prove it's been. And my whole thing with this, I'll just say this about flat earthers real quick. Okay?
Yeah.
To what end does it matter? Like, in other words, let's just say in the wildest dreams of the biggest psycho I know that it's flat. Okay, and that we've been fooled this entire time and convinced by our governments and whatever. They've all come together. They hate each other and want to take each other over. But in this one case, they all came together and joined hands and said, let's fool the people into thinking the world's flat. To what end? For what reason? There's no reason for it. There's no like giant money reason. There's no like
yes.
There's nothing.
It was just all the governments of the world getting together to say, you know what? I bet we could do this. Let's see if we could do this. No reason. Let's just see if we can.
Yeah, I guess
convince people that the Earth is round. And
yeah,
we'll
I mean, and if it's just like the longest running troll move, and that's what they're saying, well, okay, whatever, man.
Yeah.
But I just find it really.
Can I say governments around the world? That's kind of funny when I'm talking about this hypothetical flat Earth situation.
Well, I mean, the idea that for example, Israel and Palestine, they just can't get along right now. There's some bombings going on, like they're just always intermittently fighting and wars and everything. But on this one issue, they're in unison. Let's convince the people that the Earth is flat.
That's right. Yes, Yemen and Saudi Arabia coming together.
Finally.
To join hands and convince people that the world is flat.
Yeah, America and Russia. Forget the Cold War. Sure, we wanted to nuke each other into annihilation that entire time and stared each other down through the 70s and 80s. But you know what? At the end of the day, at least we kept that ruse up that the world's round.
What do we know what they think is on the other side of the world then? Like if it's flat on this side, it's got to be flat on the other side. And what's on the other side? Their
claim, my understanding is that they haven't been allowed to go see it. And that anyone who gets to see it will be killed anyway, so you'll never find out what's there. Because, again, it's somehow this secret
so there you go. That's what the governments are hiding. There's something on the other side of the world that the government's like, oh, we want this all to ourselves.
Yeah.
Let's convince everybody that it's round so that we can have this giant amusement park all to ourselves with no lines.
Can you imagine like a pilots convention? Pre-COVID or whatever, but all the pilots, they're in Vegas for a big convention for all the pilots, American Airlines, Delta, everybody's together, and they're all swapping stories of piloting and talking about industry stuff and everything, but they're all the whole time going, shh, make sure you don't tell anybody that we know. Because they would have to know, right? They'd have to know about the flatness.
Right. But they'd all know, right? So they wouldn't have to tell each other. It's like, if you want to be a pilot, first thing you have to do is sign this NDA saying that anything you learn as a pilot, you can't share with the people. Unless it is, look out your left side. You're going to see the
ice wall.
Grand Canyon. And,
boat full of flat earthers being shot from a helicopter.
That's right. Exactly.
Because they found the ice wall, and now I'm going to die.
Just passing now over Area 51, where the government has been hiding.
Yeah, I don't know. Chat wants to know. Claire Gack wants to know if Harrison Ford would know the secrets because he's a pilot.
Oh, right.
I don't know. You have to be like a multi-continental sort of airline-y pilot.
I know this golf course is flat.
Yeah. Dad, this flat Earth belongs in a museum, Dad. You'd say. Yeah, I don't know. That whole thing's real dumb. But
yeah,
I had fun on that call anyway. Not really. And anyway, I will check this out.
Where they filmed the moon landing.
It was all here on Earth for anyone who didn't notice that. Thank you. We know you have a choice in airlines, and we appreciate you.
Our Frontier flight staff will be coming around for the third time this flight with credit card application forms.
Can I do Frontier here as well, or is that just a Denver thing? I've never heard of it until you told me about Frontier for some reason.
What?
Yeah.
You should. Yeah, we've flown Frontier to Salt Lake City
before.
So.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I've just never looked at them or noticed them.
Did I say Fluntier or did you say Flintier? One of us said Fluntier.
Did we say Fluntier?
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably me. I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah. Denver's a Frontier hub, but you can definitely fly. You might, when you fly Frontier from Salt Lake City, you might go through Denver if you're going east.
Oh.
As a hub. But if you're going, you probably can go. I would imagine that you can go Salt Lake to Los Angeles or Orange County via Frontier.
On Frontier, okay. Because for me, whenever I make the choice, it's always United used to be in the mix, but not anymore. I freaking hate them.
Mhm.
But it was always Delta, and then if you hated yourself, Southwest. Now Southwest is better than they used to be. Okay, they used to be kind of garbage, and it's still a bit of a cattle car, but it's a well-run cattle car now.
It is. You know what? The little groups, letting people on in little groups to get your seat. Once you're used to it, it's like, oh yeah, as long as you get an early, just make sure you get an early thing. It's like if you're going to pay $15 to buy a seat on, or I'm sorry, if you're going to pay $30 to buy a seat on Frontier, you spend half that for $15 for early boarding on Southwest, and you'll get the seat you want.
Yeah,
You may not get the row you want, but if you want an aisle seat, you'll get an aisle seat.
I guess the problem I had with them, or the thing I didn't like about them, was in the early days they had the seats facing each other.
The facing each other, yeah.
That sucks. That sucks.
Yeah, I've never been. If I've been on a flight that had it, I've never been in a seat where I've faced the other person.
It sucks because your knees are touching. Like it's just
my gosh,
it's horrible, dude. And the guy crosses some Idaho. He's a homophobic Idaho farmer who does not want his knees touched. And boy, if you come in contact at all,
I don't hear him complaining about it.
He's got a secret he ain't told no one about.
That's right.
Well, anyways,
do they? But they only give you if they give you a table at least, right? Like a table across between the four.
That'd be okay, but they don't do that.
Okay.
They don't do that. They it's like you're facing strangers, whether you care to or not.
Right.
Even if you got them.
That's the part. I don't care about the knees touching. I just don't want to look up and just see somebody staring at me because they forgot to bring a magazine or a book or a tablet onto the flight.
Right. Instead,
how are people still doing that? At least last time I flew, how are people still doing that?
I don't know. Being on a plane without something to read or look at or do.
Bring something like you learned that as a kid. Take something to occupy your time. You're going to be bored.
Yep. And when a grown man's sitting there in his business suit just staring ahead, freaking no.
I've used up finally, as of a couple days ago, spent my Frontier voucher that was left over from the canceled TMS Vegas from 2020.
Oh, nice. What'd you use it for? Or how'd you?
Well, I've got we've got 4 trips planned for the next 10 months.
Yeah. Cramming it all.
Got to go out and see my dad in Vermont. So
That's
Vegas,
a good use of
Ireland, Vermont, Japan.
That's a good use of that ticket. Do that.
Yes.
Ticket
exactly.
prices
I'd
are pretty
much rather
good.
do that. Although 4 hours on a Frontier flight is a lot worse than an hour and a half on a Frontier flight to Vegas.
Yeah, I can imagine. I don't know. Frontier, man. It's
Especially
all about
when
the
your
Frontier.
Tray table is the size of a pack of gum.
Yeah, but don't you feel like you're like the first explorers on a Frontier flight? You're like branching out into new horizons and discovering for the first time. That's how they want you to feel on Frontier.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm traveling over the new frontier. Yeah, whatever.
But not really. All right. Well,
anyway.
there's all that.
There's all that.
There is all that and more. And my wife, I mean, she was just here a second ago, but she's this morning says, "Hey, you must have slept really well." And I said, "Really?" She goes, "Yeah, you didn't hardly move all night." And that's the other piece of proof that I maybe am dreaming all at like 6 a.m. is all the dreaming. And what I should do is the minute that dreaming kicks in is just assume, oh, it's 6. That's my new alarm. I'm getting up. I'll just get up.
Well, but you're dreaming, so your body. Well, I guess unless you do that lucid dreaming thing, but it's not like you're gonna know. Oh, I'm dreaming now. Time to get up. It's
those dreams wake me up is the problem.
Oh, they do. Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
And so my thinking is, the next time I have a weird dream where I'm like, oh, I'm climbing the Eiffel Tower with a naked man or whatever my dream is, then I'll
Serving
wake up.
Johnny Depp to the world, the people of the world.
Instead of me going, oh, it's 2:30, I still need sleep time, I'll go, oh, it's probably 6. I'll just get the F up and be done with my day.
There you go.
We'll see how it goes. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gather round. It's time for the news. Time for the news, brought to you by...
They're not puppets, they're Peepers puppets. They're the portable puppet pal you can keep in your pocket. Peepers instantly turns your hand into a whimsical puppet to entertain your friends and kids of all ages. With over 50 color combinations to choose from and flexibility for just about any hand position, they're versatile, lightweight, and always entertaining. Whether you're a professional puppeteer, a played-out parent, or a peculiar pet owner, Peepers can provide plenty of fun. I'm not positioning myself in front of my pop filter. I'm going to the side. Get them now at peeperspuppets.com. That's peeperspuppets.com.
Made by our own Red Fraggle in the chat.
That's right. Amy Robinson.
Yeah, she's got this cool company, and you all should support it.
Very, very cool stuff.
All right. People are claiming that if you eat old raw meat, it will get you high.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Well, it'll have some effect on you that you might call high, right? Like,
yeah. An altered state, perhaps.
yeah, exactly.
I don't know about
near
high
death
in a good way.
nauseousness
Yeah.
and explosive diarrhea.
Yeah, that's a state of highness, I
Yeah,
suppose.
exactly.
It says here, in the realm of bewildering food trends, there are things that still sound a little unusual, but still generally safe for consumption, like deep-fried water. Have you heard of that before?
I've never heard of that before.
I have. I don't want to know more about it, but I have heard of it. Vegan flour-based chicken and pork-flavored ice cream. These are just a few of the things that should make you all go, ugh. But then there are people who eat raw meat that has been left to rot for months, even years, claiming that it gets them high. Thriving among the community of adventurous meat eaters is High Meat. Well, they really stretched for that name. High Meat. Yeah.
High meat.
Yep. High Meat. Which refers to basically any type of raw meat that is stored untreated for months before eating. Those brave enough to try the peculiar food have reported feelings of euphoria after consumption, but experts, this is a shocker, advise against it.
Huh, really?
Uh-huh.
Don't eat the rotting raw meat. Okay.
Trying to think of a case where I would even eat raw meat. I mean, other than like tuna or like a salmon, stuff that's
Steak
meant
tartare.
to be.
I mean, you've had ceviche.
That's true. Anything else though? Like I've never had raw chicken of any kind. I'll never do that.
Yeah, you're definitely not supposed to. There's no, as far as I know, and somebody's gonna. Oh, actually, Brian and Zaire, they do the form of this, but I don't think there's any like raw chicken recommended consumption.
Yeah, I don't think that exists.
But beef you can do raw if it's treated. Like I think steak tartare, right, is uncooked, is raw.
And
meat.
you have to like super trust the source. Like
You really do.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It's got the cow had to have been refrigerated prior to death.
Yep.
And then
Hand wiped every time it took a dump.
right, exactly. Yes.
Yeah, all that stuff. Someone in the chat says kimchi. Kimchi is not meat, just for the record. There's no meat in kimchi. And also that's even a special process. It's fermentation. So we're talking about meat that is just left to its own devices. Now, I don't know. Well, basically, if you put this in an old public bathroom, it's going to be a worse piece of meat in 6 months than if you put it in a like hermetically sealed freaking clean room and let it rot in there. So it's probably a different process, but still, I don't know why you do this. It's like Homer and his sandwich. He kept putting it under the couch or whatever. Why would you do that?
So apparently there's Claire found an article in Japan. There's a place where you can get raw chicken sashimi, basically.
Ugh. Nope.
Nope. Thanks. I'll pass.
Nope.
Doesn't this feel like this eating old rotting meat thing feels like a problem that might take care of itself?
Kind of, yeah. Yeah. I feel like if there's a real trend toward this, it will help even out some other numbers, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's terrible. I don't want people to die. The point is, don't eat raw meat is the thing. I don't care how high you get. You know what you could do? Drugs. They'd make you high.
Yeah, right.
I'm not saying do drugs either. I'm just saying
and
if you're gonna choose.
you still might get doctors saying, don't do drugs either, but there are far fewer doctors who will say, don't smoke pot versus don't eat raw meat, rotting meat.
Yeah, it's the gateway drug to other rotten foods.
Now, raw drugs, on the other hand.
It says here, there isn't a whole lot of information online about high meats, besides being discussed over the years in obscure corners of the internet, like our carnivorous Reddit threads and paleo diet blogs. The controversial food received renewed attention recently when it became the subject of a collective intrigue on Twitter. So every once in a while, this stuff comes up, and people are into doing it. If anyone out there listening is doing this or has done it, tried it once, on a freaky college weekend, whatever.
Sure.
I would like to know more about it.
Yeah.
I don't want to try it. I am not rotten meat curious.
Nope.
I
you
want to know
don't even
your
bother
experience.
sending us a package of raw meat. We are not going to eat it.
Yeah, I just want to know how long were you on your toilet for the next 5 days. I know. I like a raw, I like a good rare steak, but I like it nice and seared, and
Yes, it still has to reach an internal temperature that will cool or that will kill food-borne illnesses.
That's right. If you don't do that, what are we even doing?
Right.
My
exactly.
wife can't do that. She has to have. It's got to be well done no matter what. You can't do that.
Tina cooks her steaks to oblivion as well. At least with the sous vide is kind of a way around that, because I've prepared some medium rare steaks in the sous vide, and Tina's been like, okay, this is really good. It's like, okay, you trust, because once you see the thing has been sitting in 140 degree water for 3 hours, the meat has gotten up to 140 degrees.
Right.
It's killed off anything in there. Then you can start to taste the flavors of the meat itself. You don't need drench it in A1 or I still like a little bit of horseradish, raw horseradish, please.
Yes, that's so good.
It is good. Don't give me that creamy stuff unless you've really just got no raw.
Yeah, if you don't have any, you got no raw, fine. Bring me the other.
Fine.
But you better have that raw, son.
Exactly.
I was going to
What's
say.
the sear sauce is pretty good too.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Good old what's a sear sauce?
If somebody came to you, let's do an if or and
Yeah.
or a,
Uh-huh.
what's the word? What's the phrase where you
This or that?
This or that? Is that it? Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody comes to you. They got a plate full of raw high meat. Okay. And
Yeah,
it's been
okay.
in, I don't know, the rotting stage for 2 months. So there's a 2-month
Sure.
piece of beef there you got to eat.
I'm taking whatever the other option is.
Okay. The other option is
Thick and liquid?
worse. It's a random prison inmate's urine.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, he's been in there for years. Real hard-boiled guy, and this is his pee. It's a little viscous now, and it's I don't know. Let's see. We're gonna say it's about half this water bottle full.
I'm not playing this damn game.
There's like floaters in it. It's a real rough deal. Which now
It looks
do you
like
choose?
kombucha. There's like a fuzz on the walls of the glass.
There's sediment at the bottom. Yeah. So which
Yeah.
would you do?
How much of either do I have to ingest?
You have to eat the whole piece of meat or the entire half bottle of pee.
I'm not doing it. There is okay in this horrendous. I guess I'm gonna die anyway situation. I think I would still drink the urine.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
I think so too, though. Right?
Yeah.
What else am I
Yeah.
gonna do? There's no option C.
I might accidentally break the bottle that the urine is in and slash my wrist, so I don't have to do either.
Now, what if the meat netted you $1 billion and the pee netted you $50,000?
I'd still take the.
You'd still take the pee.
Yeah.
I think I would too. Although $1 billion would buy some pretty good health care right after you ate it. You know what I
It
mean?
might be too late. I mean, there's only so much stomach pumping you can pay for.
Diced tomato. How, before or after tax? You never add tax to these.
Exactly.
these-
Never. You never.
Yeah,
consider
in these
taxes.
scenarios, there are no taxes. And besides, billionaires don't
Right.
pay taxes.
Yeah.
Name a billionaire who pays real taxes. It's bad news for you.
I'm drinking liquid right now, as a matter of fact. This is a
What
Weight
is that?
Watchers coffee smoothie.
Oh, how is it?
It's actually really good.
Not bad.
Yeah, it's all right. It's what it tastes like? It's like a Carnation instant breakfast, if you remember the flavor of those.
I do.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
But coffee flavored. So it's kind of that.
It's
It's
got a
good.
little,
I crushed it up with some ice and made a little smoothie out
I
of
used to
it.
love those in high school. I thought I was really,
Yeah.
breaking the chain by eating one of those in the morning. And I was like, yeah,
That's
I'm
right.
good all day, everybody. Good luck with your...
Saving time.
Yeah, I say I shaved a whole 10 minutes off my morning commute to the bus.
That's right. Half an hour later, hey, you gonna You gonna eat that? You
That
gonna
sounds
finish
all
that?
right.
Can I eat that? Yeah.
Sounds all right. I heard from Freddy's, by the way.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought you did already. Like the
I
manager
already tell you
contacted
that?
you and apologized for the disappointing hot dog meal experience.
Oh, I got a reply after my reply, which was, "Oh, thanks, I appreciate it. We don't want anyone fired. We still love Freddy's. You guys are cool and whatever." He sent back
okay, cool.
a load of free deals. Get a pretty
Cool.
good.
A lot of freebie coupons.
Yeah, I'm not saying I want restaurants to screw up so I can go after their coupons, but I'm just working the system. It's fine.
Well, and it's, it does benefit them when you let them know that they're doing something wrong, because this is kind of like the thing that, how did it come up? What's that phrase? Like, one person will tell you that they're disappointed in the service you provide, but 10 people feel the same way and are not bothering to tell you,
Right.
kind of thing.
Right.
So it costs them nothing, right? They're throwing you a few hamburger coupons, whatever.
Right.
They're getting a bigger benefit to be able to say, okay, hey, we've got some reports that the chili dog looks like baby shit in a container. You need to do something about that. And
I want to read the memo that goes around. But yeah, like for those who missed the story the other day, I didn't go Karen on this at all. All I did was say,
Right,
you
yeah,
guys
you
should
totally
just be
did,
aware. Yeah, like we ate it anyway. I told him that. I said it just was a mess, and you probably just should know, and it's no big deal. And we love Freddy's. Thanks, we'll keep coming.
Right.
Like that it was that kind of thing. It was as
yeah,
far as
and
from
it wasn't
Karen as you get.
that he tweeted it out and said, Freddy's,
Yeah,
do
yeah,
better.
It wasn't that
he
at
used
all.
he used the actual form on the receipt they gave you or whatever, and said, hey, here's a problem.
Yep.
Which is the way you're supposed to do it. If you get no service, like I did from Spirit Air by doing that last month,
Right.
then you can take to Twitter and start poking people with your blue check mark.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's my blue check mark. Take it. Right where
Exactly.
it hurts. Well, anyway.
Yes. So from now on, Scott will be sucking on a chili dog outside the Tasty Freeze.
Which I now know for sure is the lyric to that song. Because yesterday I was confused.
Yeah, what did you
I don't
did you
know.
think it was something else?
The Tasty Freeze, for some reason, I have like vision block on and memory block on the Tasty Freeze line. I don't know why. Just don't
I knew
hear
of
it.
one Tasty Freeze out here in Colorado.
Yeah, we don't have any. We don't have any. I think I just thought Mellencamp was just saying words and it just never clicked.
He was Cougar back then, Scott.
Oh yeah, he was Cougar.
He was Cougar.
John Cougar.
That's right.
Mellencamp.
And first, it was Johnny Cougar. Like he had an album under Johnny Cougar, then John Cougar, then John Cougar Mellencamp, then finally John Mellencamp. Like it's like watching the slowest Hulk.
Well, hold on. How's he doing? He's all right, right?
He's all right. Yeah, he's probably took a year off of Farm Aid, but probably ready to get back to doing a new.
Oh
Farm
yeah.
Aid. He hasn't done anything like released an album, as far as I know, in several years.
Oh, here it is. His website looks like a newspaper. It's kind of funny.
Oh, really?
Mellencamp will soon return to the studio to finish recording his 25th album. Prior to the onset of the global pandemic, he had already cut 10 tracks and plans to record another 17 for the project. 17?
Wow.
Jeez. That's a lot.
It is a lot. He's in the process of working on a new musical
Wow.
based on Jack and Diane.
Really?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a little
There'll
ditty.
be a set of
Yeah.
the Tasty Freeze.
Yeah.
We'll just watch them for 20 minutes suck on chili dogs.
It'll be just a little ditty there about Jack and Diane. I'm
That's
looking
right.
at all these
Everybody-
paintings. Are these his paintings? Does he paint?
I don't know.
Oh, weird. I think he does.
Oh yeah, he does. Look at that.
And they're weird.
Yep. He's a natural storyteller, according to Hillary Sheets from the New York Times.
I like weird paintings, and these
Yeah?
are weird.
What's the website? Is it johnmellencamp.com?
Just mellencamp.com.
Yeah.
Maybe
Oh,
he's
he got in on that.
I mean, I don't know. I got to respect the guy. He's just having a long-ass career and still kicking it. And
I remember all the summers that my parents sent me away to Mellencamp.
That's not like secret words for fat camp or whatever they used to have, right?
That's right.
Mellencamp.
Mellencamp.
Or like girls. Well, now I'll stop. Now I'll stop talking. Now I'm not going to say anything because I was going to make a girl joke, and that's about boobs.
Oh, I didn't see.
And I'm not going to do it now. I'm not going to do it. He says his new song is "I Always Lie to Strangers." Oh, geez.
Okay.
Keep that in mind, Johnny Mellencamp, when I see you next. You're lying to me. All right. Staying with restaurant food for a moment.
Sure.
An extremely rare calico lobster, which I thought that was a cat, but all right.
Well, yeah, I guess, I mean, calico's the coloring.
Is it?
So I guess you just have, yeah.
Oh, that's why this thing looks a little, okay, now I can see it.
Yeah. Should have I think you could probably buy yourself a calico rug, Scott.
Yeah. Really pull the room together. Let's see. Extremely rare calico lobster, which I guess means it's worth a bunch of money, was rescued from the Red Lobster in Virginia. That is definitely not a red lobster there.
No.
That is a multicolored lobster.
Red
Very
lobster
rare
for
lobster.
the calico lobster lover in you.
Apparently, the employees recognized its uniqueness and rescued it. The male calico lobster, named Freckles by the Red Lobster team in Manassas, arrived at the restaurant on April 25th as part of the Maine lobster delivery. When team members recognized the lobster's unique orange and black freckled shell covering, they reached out to Red Lobster and their support team and confirmed it was the rare calico. They are so rare, it was almost unbelievable that we received one, says a spokesman to CNN. We are proud of our employees for recognizing that Freckles was so special and reaching out so that we could make arrangements for the rescue. All those poor red ones are like, well, what the frick?
Exactly.
We're cool too. What's the deal?
Yeah.
Let's see. They're the third rarest lobster in the world, preceded by split-colored and albino lobsters. Ooh, I want to see one.
They're
of
also
those.
even more delicious.
The chance of catching a calico, in the wild or otherwise, is 1 in 30 million.
Wow. Okay.
Dude, that's crazy.
It's funny because I look at this and it's like, okay, yeah, he's speckled, but I don't think, he looks that much different. I mean, I guess the speckling, all right, I guess.
Yeah, I'm with you, kind of. It just looks like a dirty lobster, man.
He just looks like one of those things from Starship Troopers.
Oh, wow. I just looked at some pictures of some albino lobsters. Weird.
Yeah.
Weird. I don't like it. They look like they look more buggy, like a big moth or something.
Oh.
Yeah. Not a fan.
Yeah.
I don't think
Ooh, they're kind of transparent.
Yeah, there's translucency, and they. I'm sure they taste fine, but I don't want to eat that meat.
Sure.
I don't know why. I just don't want any. No thanks. Well, anyway, they do look like aliens, chat room. That's true. The deal is, let's see, they had to provide the lobster with a safe home. Restaurant reached out to officials at the Archon Zoo and connected them with the Virginia Living Museum. He now lives there. Akron, did I say? What did I say?
Archon.
Archon? Archon.
The Archon Zoo.
The Archon Zoo. Kneel before me. Akron
He comes from the fictional land known as Archon, Ohio.
Oh my gosh, there's a solid yellow colored one. What?
Oh, is this all at the zoo?
No, I'm just looking.
Or are you just looking at lobsters?
Lobsters. There's. Oh man, Brian, you got to see this. Okay.
Really? All right.
Hold on.
Give me a link.
Let me send you. I'll put it.
I'll look at your lobster. I'll look at your shellfish.
Look at this thing. Would you eat this guy here? Here, it's going in the Discord. Would you eat this guy?
Ooh.
Yeah, I feel like
that looks like a like something you'd find in an art store in New Mexico.
Yeah. Right. That's what I'd say. But apparently, that's
I wouldn't
real.
eat it. I would take that home and put in a nice big tank and let it live out its life. Well, in a big tank.
Yeah, I would too. Chat room says it looks fake. Maybe it is. I don't know.
It does look fake. Yeah.
It's the internet. What
Yeah.
I don't have, I can't. I can't verify all these things are true. Anyway, it's in the museum now.
Time for that.
I got no time for that. So they're going to keep it there. If you want to go visit it, go to Archon, Ohio, and they'll hook you up. All right, moving on to a missing Utah woman. This doesn't end.
Oh, I heard about this. Okay.
Yeah, this doesn't end terribly, although maybe it does for her because she's not happy about it. But there was this missing Utah lady. She was finally found in a national forest, reportedly wanted solitude and isolation. Freaking leave her alone is what she's saying. The woman was found living in a national forest earlier this week. She reportedly told authorities she was in need of an escape While maintaining her anonymity, the Utah County Sheriff's Office told Fox News that the woman had been living on the land in Diamond Fork for 5 months because she wanted solitude and isolation. Press release issued Monday noted that the 47-year-old woman was reportedly missing by U.S. Forest Service officials in November after they spotted what appeared to be her abandoned car and camp gear in the Diamond Fork area of Spanish Fork Canyon. It's very pretty up there. I can see why she should go there. On May 2nd, a sheriff's sergeant and drone pilot discovered the woman's tent not far from where the car was seen. Quote, her motivation was, in part, for solitude and isolation, says Sergeant Spencer Cannon. Spencer Cannon.
Mm-hmm.
Officer Cannon.
Sergeant Cannon.
Your job is
That's
clear.
a great name.
Yep. Robbing cars your checks can't cash. How's it go?
your mouth's writing checks that your body can't cash or something like that.
I think that's it. That your Johnny can't cash.
That's it.
Woman was taken to a nearby medical center for a physical and mental health evaluation since it appeared she had lost a considerable amount of weight and was weak. But from November till today, did all right.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder if she would have reached, like, basically if her body would have gotten to a place where she was like not losing any further weight, like if she was just going to be able to kind of maintain and if she was happy doing what she was doing, or if it was just like, no, about a month from now she would have been close to death.
Yeah, see, this is the point where we don't know enough about it, but let's say the evaluation turns up that she's, got all kinds of mental stuff.
Mentally, yeah, right.
Then I guess it's okay to tell her not to do it. But then if she turns out she's not, she was just like, look, I don't want to live by society's rules and I'm going to live in a tent somewhere. I kind of feel like, I don't know, let her do it.
Let her do it. Yeah.
I mean, and it's weird. Society's weird. We get so weird. Like back in if this is the 1800s, no one would even pay attention. You just live out there. But now we have to all worry about, oh, there's somebody up there, must be crazy, must be insane, it's public land, that's illegal. Like we're just, I'm not going all libertarian, everybody, okay? That's not what I'm doing here. I'm not turning into, give me my gun and my goat and I'm just fine up there in the hills. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just saying, we live in a society. That's what I'm saying. Okay.
That's right.
Well, she's back, and I don't know if she had family. I don't really say, but
You ever see that film with the main guy who's an Entourage? Claire linked to it. It's Adrian Griner, I think. A film called Into the Wild.
Oh, yeah.
It's about a guy who does. Oh no, Emil Hirsch, not Adrian Griner. Emil Hirsch.
Right, 2007-ish. Hold on. Yeah, 2007. There it is. Sean Penn directed it.
Look at you.
Yeah. Sean Penn directed and written, starring Emil Hirsch, Vince Vaughn, and Kathleen Keener.
Catherine Keener.
Never saw
Marcia
it.
Gay Harden.
Never saw this movie.
Kristen Stewart, William Hurt. Look at this cast. I forgot all these people in this.
Yeah.
Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah. Hal Holbrook, one of his final roles.
That's right. Anyway, it's really good. It's about a guy who just kind of does the same thing. But
like
one of the coolest things about it is a really cool Eddie Vedder. What's it called? Something Sun.
Soundtrack? Oh, you mean
did the soundtrack? Yeah. A Big Hot Sun. A Big Hot Sun. No, what is it?
Hard Sun.
Big Hard Sun.
Soundtrack. Hold
So
on.
it just sounds wrong.
Written by Gordon Peterson, performed by Eddie Vedder and Corin Tucker. The song is just Hard Sun.
Hard Sun. Okay.
S-U-N. Monkey Wrench Records. Huh.
Really good soundtrack.
It sounds like Nomadland, weirdly.
Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. Never saw this. And also, it's weird that I remember the year, but I don't have any recollection of it.
That's the thing that blows my mind.
Yeah. I don't know how I do that. Name a movie, Brian, and I'll tell you the year. Just try it. Let's see if it actually works.
All right. Baby's Day Out.
All right. There is a limit, we found out just now. There's a limit. My ability to pick the year for a movie. Chat room says Top Gun, 1986, I believe.
Yeah. Top Gun is 86.
Lethal
I'm
Weapon,
pretty sure they're right.
88. Or 87. 88 or 87.
Look who's talking.
These have to be movies I've seen.
Oh, they have to be movies you like. Oh, I see. There is a caveat. Oh.
Yeah.
Except you've never even seen Into the Wild and you knew that one.
Yeah,
but I bet
that's
you've
true.
seen Look Who's Talking.
Well, Free Rangers asked Mad Max Fury Road. That would be
Oh,
2015. 2015, everyone. Demolition Man. That was 98, I think.
Oh, let's look.
Yeah, it's
Demolition Man
Brian makes a point
93.
though. 93. Oh, I'm way off on that
93.
one. Okay, I'm
How
wrong
about the
on that.
original Judge Dredd?
Judge Dredd, 80. Oh shit. Actually, it's probably closer to 91 or 92.
95.
Damn it!
Yeah.
Maybe it's just I'm lucky on a few of these.
I think we were better not to try and force the sausage to be made.
Mirror Venus is Dirty Dancing, 87. That one's easy.
Oh wow. Wow.
That one's
Scott
easy.
remembers when you don't put baby in the corner.
The time. I hate that
Plus,
movie.
I mean, 87, right? What a great year for me.
Yeah, it was a great. Yeah, it was a great year.
Yeah.
Space
Great
Truckers. That would have been 90, 96. Space Truckers. We just did, right?
We just did it.
Yeah, that probably doesn't count.
My Dinner with Andre.
I'm all out of answers on that one. I don't know. Tuesdays with Maury or whatever. Same thing. Same problem.
Come on, it's Wallace Shawn. It's inconceivable. All right, speaking of that, Princess Bride.
Oh, Princess Bride, 84.
That's also 87.
Shit. Oh, how do I have that wrong? What am I thinking of? Oh, that movie's timeless. So it doesn't that one breaks the mold because it feels like it was made yesterday.
Yeah.
Never Ending Story. That had to have been 82 or 83. Maybe 80. Shit. Temple of Doom, 84. On Golden Pond, no idea. The original Mad Max.
First Mad Max.
80 or 79, I believe. I think. Is that right?
79, correct.
Okay. And then Road Warriors, 84.
81.
Shit. V for Vendetta, 2005.
I think it's 2005 is correct.
Okay.
Whew. All right, good. You want to
See,
end on a win?
Yeah, let's end on a win. That one's good.
All right.
I feel pretty good about a lot of that, but
Yeah, you should.
I'm not
You
perfect.
should.
All right, let's be done and take a break. Oh no, I got one more story. 7 men went around up crematoriums. Up? UP? What's that?
I think they just wanted to. Oh, utter Pradesh. I thought they just really wanted to work 7-Up into a headline.
7 Up, you're right. 7 men went around UP or Uttar Pradesh crematoriums and stole clothes from bodies. They were arrested.
Of course.
They were all arrested. This is in Bagpat in western Uttar Pradesh for stealing clothes from the dead. And this arrest came out at a time where social media and other national dailies have been cataloging the ever-growing number of dead bodies and deepening coronavirus crisis in the country. It's weird. Yeah. Some people are using that to go steal their clothes. Anyway, the accused used to steal shroud. What? Steal the shroud. What? The accused used to steal the shroud used to cover the dead.
Yeah. Yeah, they got the wrong word there. The accused would steal the shroud used to cover the dead, their clothes.
Oh, their clothes and other stuff. Okay.
It's Uttar Pradesh, by the way. Rishi B corrects us. Thank you, Rishi
Uttar?
B.
Uther. Like Uther, like the guy that helped train Arthas? Uther?
Yes. Right. Uther Pendragon.
Let's see. They what's that? Police also found some clothing remnants or merchants from the area that had a deal with these men and paid them $300 a day for looting this stuff.
Wow.
Of the 7 arrested, 3 are from the same family. These people have been stealing for the last 10 years, so it's not like it's anything new. They just are taking advantage of the coronavirus problem. It's bad over there, man. I know it's easy over here to go, oh, we got some vaccinations going and things are looking good and everything, but there are parts of the world where, jeez.
Yeah, and it's probably just as dangerous, well, or maybe not quite as dangerous, but still dangerous to take the clothes and sheets and things like that because they can get these things kind of contained in one area. But if you're taking fabrics that might contain the virus. I don't know.
I wouldn't take
Oh,
it. I mean, I wouldn't go near any of that stuff. I don't know why they think that's a good idea, and I don't know.
I know there's questions still on how long the virus lasts on on objects, but
it's less on things like cardboard and clothes, but longer on surfaces and metal and stuff like that. Yeah. All I know is like when they report like 300,000 people a day with cases. I don't know how they're even coming to those numbers, but geez Louise.
Wow.
It's just really bad. India, is that true, Rishi B? India makes 60% of the world's vaccinations and got pooped on. Like they make the vaxes and ship them everywhere else, but they couldn't get enough for themselves. F that. That's effed up.
That sucks.
All right. Yes, Benjamin on Microsoft Surfaces. Yes, that's what we're talking about.
That's what lasts the longest.
It
is on
stay the
Microsoft
longest
Surfaces.
on a Microsoft Surface.
I've got one right here.
Yeah, you do. So these are Surface 2, 3, what is it?
It's the Surface laptop.
Oh, is that the newer one?
It's the Surface 3 laptop, so it's
3.
2018.
Okay, the 3. 3 is good.
Yeah.
2 is the best for their pen and their drawing. That's when they're still working with Wacom, and it was awesome. But then their own homemade one's not great.
I've not tried the pen on this one.
Bums me out. I really thought they were going to up and come in that area, in that zone.
But I did have some fun playing Dwarf Romantic on this.
Oh!
Yeah.
Dwarf Romantic. Finally, Brian's got the platform to play it on. Excellent.
Right. Yes.
That game's great, right?
It is a great game, yes. Yeah, it's a lot like Waterworks or whatever that game is, where you've got to put down, where you've got to lay pipe.
Yeah, you got to lay pipe. Laying some pipe. Yeah. All right. Now, moving on to a break. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Stephen Schleicher, jury duty is jury. Justin Robert Young.
That's right.
He'll be joining us. He's going to try to explain why Republicans are eating themselves right now, and Liz Cheney is on the menu. Trying to understand that a little better because I really don't get it. And then he also saw Nobody like I did, and he has some thoughts on it. So we're going to talk about that.
Damn it, I need to see Nobody.
You're going to like it a lot, I think.
Yeah.
So all of that and more coming right up after this song presented in full by the hand and mind of Brian Ibbett.
Yeah, this is brand new as of today, which means you listen to this and you're going to say, oh, how long do I have to wait to get it? You don't have to wait at all. We're going to Nashville for this one. A singer-songwriter named Lindsay Starr, who normally does, writes her own songs, has surprised everybody and released a 2-track EP, a digital 7-inch with 2 cover tracks today. One of the tracks is a cover of Wicked Game by Chris Isaak, and it's really, really good. The other one is the one we're going to play right now. It's a cover of Tears for Fears' Everybody Wants to Rule the World. This thing is amazing. And it's just like what you don't expect to hear from a Nashville singer-songwriter. It's really, really good. Well, it's not the style of music I'd expect.
Sure.
It's really, really good.
No offense.
I'm not trying to say everything else from Nashville's crap, but this is good. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, here's Lindsay Starr and her cover of Everybody Wants to Rule the World.
I never, ever do anything for goodness sake. Everything I do is for the sake of evil.
Humans were once like monkeys, right? And before that, like reptiles?
The morning stream. Bread goes in, toast comes out. You can't explain that.
All right, we're back, everybody. We've arrived back to where we were before this song, which, again, Brian, for the folks at home who missed it.
Lindsay Starr, brand new single released today. Everybody Wants to Rule the World, and the other side is Wicked Game. Both tracks, both covers are excellent.
That is fantastic.
Yes.
And I love Tears for Fears.
And I love Nashville.
Oh, yeah, Nashville's great. They got
Nashville
the barbecue and the music.
They got the hot chicken. They got... they
got the culture there. The culture.
Yep, they got, what is it? What's the street? It's not Beale. It's not 6th Street, but they have a music street that's kind of like the one in Austin, kind of like the one in Memphis, where it's like clubs and bars with live music going on all the time.
Yeah, some sort of street. And we're going to go there one day.
Some sort of street.
Hey,
exactly.
Speaking of streets, let's walk down this street right here.
These are their stories.
Oh, I'm terrible with names.
Welcome to the show, Justin Robert Young of Politics fame. You may know him from that, but also you know him from his Tuesday visits here on the TMS show. Justin, welcome back to the program. How are you?
Always a pleasure to be here, friends. Always.
Is it?
Always good to have you.
Is
here.
it always a pleasure?
Always.
Okay.
Always a pleasure.
That makes me happy to hear that.
I don't know. I don't know what I'd do without our little Tuesday.
Oh,
chats.
wow. That, I feel warm inside, but maybe I just have to be. Hey, it's Justin, everybody, and that's good because I got questions. So we got a couple things we want to hit today. One is I do want to get Justin's take on Nobody, which I have seen, he has seen, Brian has not seen, but I think it's worth talking about a thing that everyone a lot of people blow off as, it's a John Wick ripoff, but I think it's more than that, and I think Justin might agree with me, but we'll get to that in a minute. Before that, though, I want to know why. Why is it, maybe you can give us an explainer on this, but it feels like the Republican Party is trying to eat Liz Cheney. And I'm trying to understand why, because I don't get it, other than, I know that she had always sort of been like, Trump effed up on the 6th, and also, we shouldn't be so devoted to him. We should be devoted to our party and blah, blah. She's been a little bit more vocal that way, and maybe that's all this is. I don't know. But this idea of like just throwing her out, putting somebody in her place, she's no longer in the leadership position. I don't know where all this came from a party where I thought they were just sort of, I don't know what I thought. I don't know why she's being beaten up like this. So can you explain this? What are the political machinations and reasons for this?
It's so, who is going to defend the poor Cheney thing? Always so heartwarming and, accessible. And, I think we all can agree, we've long thought like, the Cheneys, the best of us. when we look at the American flag.
Right. Well, you don't hear a lot from Dick these days, but I assume
it's funny. It is an interesting. I think the last we heard of Dick, he was autographing a waterboarding jug.
Oh God, really?
Borat. Yeah. So just to give everybody the warm and fuzzies about the Cheney family. All right. So number one, let's kind of understand exactly what we are talking about here. Liz Cheney is not being run out of the party. Liz Cheney is likely tomorrow to lose her leadership position, which basically is to organize messaging amongst House Republicans.
Okay.
So best I can tell, she sends out a couple emails a day saying, here are the issues of the day. Here's our central message on it. Everybody follow. And then if you don't follow, she keeps track of who doesn't follow. And then you have other apparatus in the leadership go and get the stray calves back into the herd. Right?
Okay. Yeah. I already hate everything about this, but keep going. Yeah.
This is something that happens in both parties.
No,
like
I know. I just hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it. Let them be individuals. Let them have their own ideas, damn it. You can't corral these guys. Anyway, keep going. Keep talking.
I think it's more just like, in things where you would, maybe we want more chaos, right? But in general, usually when you're in Congress, the point is to pass things, right? Mm-hmm. And so if you're going to pass things, then you have to move as a unit.
Yeah, you're trying to all be on the same page. I get the idea. It's a little bit like a company would do. I don't know why I see it differently, but for some reason it bugs me that they're going to track as you put them, the strays and then go and talk.
Well, that's what the whip is. The party whip.
Oh, was that the whole meaning of that? I didn't know that.
Yeah, the party whip is the person who whips up votes, and you whip up votes by seeing where everybody's leaning, where they're not leaning, how they need to be cajoled. That's what that all is. Okay. Yeah, that's what the majority and minority whip is.
Got it. I didn't know what that meant until today. I feel like I learned something today. All right.
Yeah, so that job that you didn't know existed, that's what Liz Cheney is being pushed out of. So, I don't think it necessarily has a tremendous amount of impact on either the party or, because not even like she was necessarily in I mean, she was in a leadership position, so therefore her opinion mattered more. But it wasn't like she was deciding policy on much of anything.
Right.
What's funny is that she voted more in line with President Trump than the woman who is likely to take her place, Elise Stefanik from New York, did, which is its own, weird quirk of what's happening right now.
Yeah.
But Liz Cheney is getting booted out of that position, in my opinion, not because she talked about Trump, because there's a lot of people that talk about Trump, including Mitch McConnell, who has said very direct things and then never talks about them again.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's because she keeps talking about it, which she certainly has, answered press questions that she didn't necessarily need to answer, and has made it a more front and center issue than she would have if she had message discipline, which is funny because she's the person who's supposed to be organizing the messaging.
Right.
The reason why she's getting booted out is because I don't think she's going to win re-election in 2022 in Wyoming.
Oh.
And if you are not going to win re-election in Wyoming, then the point of having you has become moot because the Republicans, based on historical trends, will likely take back both the House and the Senate. And if you are a House member in the GOP, then you're not going to be there because you're not going to win. You're likely going to get primaried, and in that primary, you are probably going to lose, or at least that's what the school of thought is. Then you effectively, as of now, have zero power, and she's being treated like it.
Okay, so I don't know why speaking of messaging, well, maybe it's just I don't know. The only way we hear about it is through punditry and tweets and
alarmist
news and stuff, so we don't know. But I guess I don't understand why the Republican line isn't more about how that's happening. I guess they don't want to say, well, we think she's going to lose up there, so that's why we're doing this, because maybe that's bad messaging. But what it sounds like
nobody knows, right?
Right.
Like so at this point, you can see a bunch of internal polls and say, oh, it turns out that the voting populace in her district is very Trumpy. And the more that she talks about Trump being a bad person, the less likely she is to get voted back in. At which point, her talking about Trump is more self-harm than it is some existential question for which the Republican Party needs to wrap itself around. Obviously, there is a larger question of exactly how much Donald Trump is a part of the party, how the party should react to what happened on January 6th. These are all still relevant questions. I just think that there is, like there often is, real world political gravity to a lot of these things that are more complicated than the narratives for which people assign to them.
Yeah, no, for sure. If anyone's learned that, I have. But like this idea, like, here's what I'd do if I was Liz Cheney. This is what I would do. This is totally a me thing. But I would see kind of the state of things. And I believe her when she, says that she's not, she thinks that things have gone a little too Trumpy, and she probably really believes that. I would see this as an opportunity. If you feel like you're going to lose, stick to your guns, talk the way you want, let them kick you out of leadership, whatever, it doesn't matter. And if you're going to lose, that's okay too. Just go retire in that big freaking huge ranch they have up there in the Cheneys have up in Wyoming. It's amazing. I have a friend who is assigned secret security duty for Cheney when he was vice president and for a while after, and had to basically live at that ranch. And the stories he told me about that ranch sounds amazing. So just retire, hang out with your weird husband who shoots his friends by accident, and be done. Get out of that cesspool.
I think that's her father.
Oh, is that her dad? I thought they were married.
No.
I don't know why I thought that. I thought Liz Cheney and Dick Cheney were married.
That is the Cheney daughter, not the Cheney.
How old is Dick Cheney? Hold on a second.
He's very old.
Okay. He's older than I thought. All right. Either way, go live with your dad.
No, Liz Cheney, look, the funniest thing that's going to happen and this is like no one prepared me for how funny getting older was going to be. When you actually remember things. The funniest thing that's going to happen is when she is a commentator on MSNBC after she gets kicked out and loses her election.
You think so?
She'll just be the dedicated, never Trump Republican voice that just, is there to get beat up on by the other people, but also shreds Trump. So she'll be like the Lincoln Project person for MSNBC. And I'm going to see all my liberal friends retweeting even the Republicans hate Trump. And it'll be Liz Cheney. And it'll just be the funniest thing that I've ever seen.
It happens I hate that part of all this. And that also, that's kind of the idea, right? If you're going to get pushed out of Congress, you end up with a cushy job on some, multi-screen pundit deal.
Especially if you're there, if you're righteously kicked out, right?
Yeah.
They're going to make it. They're already making a victim out of a Cheney.
Yeah.
She's a Cheney.
Yeah. Yeah.
When have we ever felt bad for Cheneys ever? They got a pretty good gig.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're probably right. And it's all just, once again, just feels like theater. But I couldn't understand it just seemed like they were like, she's got to go. She's got to go. Like she's just the worst.
Well, I mean, here's the reality of it was she already faced one challenge in February. And the GOP minority leader, Kevin McCarthy, stood up for her and fought for her. And she survived a secret ballot vote, which was a secret ballot because Kevin McCarthy wanted it to be. And so therefore people didn't have to register exactly what they felt and have that be public and then have those people be attacked by the Trump forces. So he fought for her in February. What you will hear Kevin McCarthy say, and some people on the right say, is that at that point, she could have stopped talking about Trump and she had made her point, and that was that. She survived a challenge, but instead she pushed it. And especially for somebody in leadership, that is something that you really can't have. That being said, and I don't think that doesn't factor into it, but apparently everything really broke down during this a Florida conference that they had where donors started to point out hey, we don't think she's going to win and she's bad. So you should be minting people that are actually going to be in the House when you have a majority. And that's what Elise Stefanik's rise has kind of come with, who she was a kind of nobody and then wound up getting famous defending Trump loudly during his impeachment trials. And that's when Trump fell in love with her and Trump endorsed her political ascension, and that's where we are right now.
Okay. Well, so sounds like the usual stuff. By the way, Stefanik's was my favorite thing to get hooked on in the 80s. I was hooked on Stefanik's and really learned a lot then about Stefanik's. Anyway,
hooked on Stefanik's worked for me.
It's a great name. It really is.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Nobody. This is a movie with Bob Odenkirk, and you may know him from Mr. Show and Everyone Loves Saul, or what the hell? Sorry, Saul.
Better Call Saul.
Somebody
Better
get Saul.
Call Saul.
Better Call Saul. Anyway, he's amazing and always good and everything, but it's a turn that not a lot of people expected, at least I didn't, to work as well as it did. He plays a retired sort of, the real hint of the movie is he's a hitman or a guy that gets, the dirty work done for the 3-letter agencies, CIA, NSA, that kind of stuff. And
PTA.
Yeah, and PTA exactly, and he's
CDC.
Yeah, all that. He's retired from all that, sort of has got a normal life with a wife and some children, and has been going.
I mean, basically, it is the John Wick formula, the Taken formula of middle-aged schlub in suburbia. Yeah. Now something happens and he's on the warpath, which really, I mean, to my mind, the template for that really goes back to Death Wish.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But with that one, Death Wish was a little bit more like the movie Falling Down, where Charles Bronson eventually, as the sequels went along, he became more and more of a badass. But that first one, he's kind of a pussy willow. Like he is something horrifying happens in the first 10 minutes of the movie to his wife and children. And then he becomes a vigilante, but in a much more realistic vigilante way. Like he is just kind of sneaking up on crooks and shooting them in the back and stuff like that.
Yeah.
God.
Where we've seen it go from there with Taken and John Wick is everybody's gotten a lot more badass and a lot more kung fu-y and a lot more crazy action style. And so this very much is in that vein, but there are some like really cool tweaks to it. I felt.
My favorite tweak is to the very template, which is John Wick's case and other cases. Wrongs are done to the people, and once those wrongs are done, it sets the machine in motion, and it's just you have to go. You took my daughter, we have to go because I have a very special set of skills. Or in John Wick's case, you killed my dog, we're going. This is it. Let's go. In the case of this, the thing that happens to him isn't the impetus for what the rest of the movie is.
How many spoilers are we doing? Where are we at on spoilers with this?
I mean, I don't know. Like, we probably should. We'll just warn it. Hey, we're going to talk about aspects of this movie, everybody. If you don't want to hear it, maybe now check out. Come back later.
There's nothing else that I'm going to talk about. Any other political stuff you want to get in?
No, I don't have any. I got nothing.
All right, then cool. All right, we're only going to talk about nobody, and we're going to get into spoiler-esque territory.
Yes. Now, where they break the template is he does a thing early or something sets him off early that you think is going to be the impetus for the entire film of him being set off, but it's not. He just is now put in a mental state where he wants more of it. And without spoiling it too much for Brian, that stuff that happens on the bus is wholly separate from the other incident. And that bus scene is insane. But
that's what I hear.
Everything that happens on that bus
in it, I really appreciated. Number one, Bob Odenkirk's amazing. Anybody who isn't into the revelatory hosannas of how amazing of an actor he is, this gives you even further chops to show that he's a credible, believable action star.
Yep.
But what I really liked about it was that there is no kung fu. There's no martial arts in the way that you kind of, I think everybody tends to have sidekicks and roundhouses and stuff like that. Like all of a sudden in action movies, where this everything's very kind of like rudimentary military, like front kicks and punches and throat chops.
Yep.
Like it is very, very like kind of a basic training sort of stuff, but it's relentless and brutal.
Yep.
I loved so many little things about it. And here's one thing I will spoil, because I think people just need to go see it, is that if you've ever thought, damn, how old are they going to make these actors into action stars?
Yeah.
Like, what's the upper limit of age that you can see somebody turned into a total badass? This movie sets the new high water mark when Christopher Lloyd, yes, Back to the Future's Christopher Lloyd,
Wow.
in a nursing home is turned into a total amazing, like, badass. One of my favorite scenes that I've seen in a movie theater in years is a Christopher Lloyd scene. It is
I'm gonna knock you back to 1955.
It's close. I mean, like, there's a moment where, like, when the lady comes to check on him after she hears the ruckus, and he's holding this bleeding, dying guy down just low enough so she can't see him over the chair. She thinks he's just in there watching his loud Western or whatever.
Yeah, he tells him to turn down. He's like, man, you got to turn down the TV. And he's like, okay. And he's just holding this dude
It's great.
down.
Like, that stuff was handled really well. I liked all of it. I guess I was just surprised how it landed on me. I was worried that it was going to be, well, it's one of these again. But I think what sets it apart is Odenkirk's performance, and he's great in everything. But in this, there's something badass about him, but also super relatable, and he plays it pretty straight, but also just, I don't know, it just feels right. Everything he does in the movie feels good. It helps ground the movie.
Yeah, there's a moment in any of these kinds of movies where the adventure is thrust upon the hero, right? And let's say Taken, for example. Taken, Liam Neeson, kind of a schlub dad who's got a complicated relationship with his daughter. He's divorced, right? And then you realize he's a badass. He's got to go rescue his daughter from whatever human traffickers have gotten him, and then he gets the daughter back.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of the end of the movie,
Yeah.
right? Like you don't, because you're rooting for him. You don't really want to see him. You're glad he had those skills, but you don't really want to see him fall back on him from an emotional perspective.
Right.
And that's complicated when you've gone to see this movie because you want to see people get killed and thrown out of windows and stuff, because you're like, from that level, you're like, yes, I do want to see more of that. And that's why we've gone to see 3 Taken sequels or whatever. This is a movie that kind of addresses some of that. And the motivation is very much internal to the character beyond the world thrusting things upon him. And it's a very fun, compact script that, like, for a movie that is a John Wick or a Taken knockoff, it's something that you'll think about. Like there's like a really kind of cool second viewing to it, or even thinking about the movie in your head because of I think how smartly everything was put together.
You know what else I really like? I love a good villain. This movie's got an amazing psychopath Russian mobster, too high up for his own good kind of guy in it, and he's great. That actor's great. All that stuff is great. But the hard thing in these movies is to figure out what is your finale fight death going to be? Like how and usually what you do is you just go big, more explosions, more car crashes, more whatever, to create this sort of crescendo at the end. This thing decided to do a very close-quartered sort of ultimate moment with the bad guy and with Odenkirk. And the way they did it is so good. It's so good. It's like brutal but artistic, perfect amount of slow motion. I don't want to give it away for Brian, but it's amazing scene. And
cool. It's
so good.
It's really great. The villain is well drawn.
Yeah.
I think you find yourself if not, I mean, certainly not rooting for, but relating more to the villain as it gets toward the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Just so much fun, so well done. The cinematography is really, really good too. There's a shot about halfway through with a flipped over car, and you will know it when you see it. That I've thought about a lot since then. And again, it's just like such a fun script, because especially in these kind of movies, and John Wick, this has been kind of a hallmark of John Wick, that like the more you get into his world, the more you realize it's like this very labyrinthian, crazy, like backstory universe that he exists in.
Yeah.
And this doesn't quite have that, right? It is just sort of mobsters and guns and you took my money and now I'm going to get you kind of stuff. But you're always curious about, well, who is Bob Odenkirk? That's like the point of the movie, is he's nobody, right? Quote unquote. But they have this running gag of whenever he gets to the exposition, which is normally among the most boring parts. You want to know it, but then once you've heard it, you're like, oh, okay, well, maybe that was cool, maybe that wasn't.
Yeah.
But they have this very clever running gag of whenever he's telling stories about his past, it's when a certain thing is happening, and it's very, very fun.
Yeah, it's really good. And even the montagey stuff at the beginning, where it's like quick cuts of him jogging, making breakfast, going to the office, trying to chase down the garbage man, missing the garbage man again. Like, normally that stuff is so tropey and trite that I'm just like, okay, I've seen this a billion times and it doesn't work on me anymore. But there's something about the way this one was made, and those scenes worked for me. And the humor, which isn't, it's sparse, but when it's there, it's earned and it's, legit funny. I guess I'm just surprised how much I liked it. And I hope they do a follow-up. I mean, they leave it like they're gonna. So
yeah, I hope so too. I think it was very creative and very fun. And it's Odenkirk doing, like, there are really funny moments in the movie. None of them are funny lines from Odenkirk.
No.
Odenkirk plays a very earnest character.
Yeah.
Like that's where kind of the beating heart of the movie.
And if you were worried that he had typecast himself as Saul, he really hasn't. Like, and he's in lots of cool stuff. I loved him in Nebraska and lots of movies. Like, it's not like this. He's not doing any work outside of the Saul universe. But I think it would be easy for people to think that he would just be Saul Goodman and everything, and he's not in this. This is like a totally different kind of character, and that dude is in shape. He looked great, just lean, and I want to look like that.
He looks awesome.
Yeah.
I was joking because it was the last movie I saw in a theater with Brett in Oakland, and I'm like, man, like this is just kind of redefined masculinity.
Yeah,
where like they're the old idea was like, it's the 50s malt shop, like the best shape you're ever gonna be in is when you're 18 and you're playing on the football team, and that's when you get married and you have kids at 20 and a half, and then you just like by the time that you're 40, you're just like a big old pile of pudding, and you're drinking beer in the lazy boy and you're falling asleep, right?
Yep.
And it's like now it's like, oh no, you're skinny and schlubby in your 20s.
Yep.
And then somewhere around 35, you get into the best shape of your life.
Yeah.
And then you're just on HGH like Sylvester Stallone until you eventually maybe die. Like you're just like walk around like dinosaurs, like Bebop and Rocksteady, until eventually they have to build an extra large coffin because you're a gigantic behemoth of a human.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a weird one to see these days. By the way, Odenkirk, 58. I think that dude looked real good for 58. Yeah. It made me realize.
Which is funny though, but he played older when he was in his 20s. Like Mr. Show, he looked 35.
Yeah. I just saw him on Seinfeld last night. He was on some episode where he was playing Elaine's boyfriend, and he looks the same.
Yeah.
I don't know how that dude does it. But.
He reached a certain age look and then just stayed there while his age caught up to him.
Yeah.
And surpassed him.
Kinda. Yeah. So. And Andy's funny as shit. Andy plays complex. Like what a cool career. I think that dude's.
I think we'll probably watch it tonight. We've got half an hour left of the thing I'm doing for recommendals tomorrow.
Yeah.
And a couple people have offered me a very complex way of watching Nobody. So I think I might not be so perplexed about figuring out a way to watch Nobody.
Yeah. Is your TV isn't made of plexiglass or anything?
There's one we haven't
used. That's a new one. It's a new one. Yeah, pretty good. Well, all right. We've covered politics. We've covered Odenkirk. Really, there's nothing left except to say what's going on over there in Jury's world. So what's happening? What should people be checking out this week from you and your fine works?
So a fun little change that we're doing on the Politics Patreon. Not only do you get the two podcast for free on Wednesdays and Fridays, but also on the Patreon you get 2 bonus episodes on Mondays and Thursdays at the $3 level. But I've reformatted the Monday episode, and it's going to come out first thing in the morning, so midnight on Monday. I'm recording it on Sunday, and instead of it being me reacting to the first news of the week, it's going to be me watching through all the Sunday shows and predicting things that are going to happen, and of the narratives that all the parties are creating, how they are going to be batted around throughout the week. So it's like 1 part prediction, 1 part table setting. But I think for folks who enjoy the show or enjoy this segment, it's going to be really great to be able to watch things unfold from that perspective, as opposed to just kind of being led around by the nose by the propaganda machines.
that is normally there. No, I understand. Well, that's great. People, make sure you check it out, and don't forget to give him a follow on Twitter if you haven't. He's at Justin R. Young, and I'm going to play this before I forget.
The jury will now retire.
Yeah, baby.
Well
we'll see you
done.
later.
Look at you.
Hey, the memory of an elephant. It's not really. Not even close. All right. Hey, we have come to the end of today's show. However, there's time for this. Whoops.
I like to eat.
Hey.
What are we eating? What are we eating, Scott?
Japanese stuff. We got wasabi macadamia nuts or this other thing. I think we do the wasabi because there's English on this.
Yeah.
Just feeling good about it.
Setachi Sudachi. That's what you said it was, and now I'm seeing it.
Sudachi. Yeah, see, I wasn't that far off.
Setachi Sudachi.
Yeah, I was kind of right on. All right, let's do the nuts.
I wouldn't call that English, but those are English letters.
Just put a little English on it. All right, so Island Princess, authentic Japanese wasabi, macadamia nuts.
Not really a whole lot on here. I mean, I guess there is some Japanese writing I can...
Yeah, there's nothing to translate, really. It says it's
Scan the
100%
bottom corner
Hawaiian
there.
grown, so that's probably why. Oh, it's made in the USA. It's literally made in Hawaii. But there's a lot of Japanese people in Hawaii, so that's probably the deal. All right. I'm going to open this here. Take a whiff. Oh, smell that earthy macadamia.
I'm sending you the best translation ever.
Okay, great. Let me open my text chat window.
This can't be real. Can't be real.
I want it to be real. Oh, that's Moby. Hold on, let me scroll down. There we go. Okay.
Oh, yeah, Moby's great.
Yeah, that Moby video went places. I was worried about it at first, but it got good. Okay, here we go. This is Brian just sent. What is it? Wait, are we eating that bag or the other bag? Which one are we eating?
Yeah, same bag.
No, we're eating the macadamia nuts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I actually read the whole thing and said, all right, these are wasabi macadamia nuts.
That's funny. You actually said there's English on there, and I said, oh, okay, Sadachi, Sutachi. I don't think that's English. That's the bag you held up when your maid came in to take out your trash.
Yeah, that's true. When the maid was here.
Yes.
All right, so let's do these nuts.
All right. Did you read what it says, though?
Yeah, it says, even though it's crap, what is it? Muto meat youth taste. What is
That's
going
tomorrow on TMS.
Even though it's crap.
Even though it's crap, what is it?
Why does that say that? I'm afraid now of tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm afeared of tomorrow. All right, how are these?
Oh my God, these are great.
Well, they really hate you.
Listen, I love wasabi peas. I like wasabi almonds.
Yeah.
These might be my favorite wasabi items.
Have you ever snorted wasabi?
I've never snorted wasabi.
I watched...
You don't need to. I mean, if you accidentally take a deep breath when you've got sushi that's got wasabi all over it.
Woo! That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I actually kind of like that.
I like it more than that little girl who goes, wasabi.
Oh, how could you like it more than her? Ouch.
Ouch.
All right, well, tomorrow...
No, she's, help. That's right.
Tomorrow we eat the crap that apparently knows it's
yes. Crap. Even though it's crap, what is it?
Where's it? Oh, it's that writing down by the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have concerns about that. We'll see you tomorrow when we do that. Okay. We're done. That's it. That's the show. Huge thanks to everybody for your support at patreon.com/TMS. If you need more details on what that's all about, head there. For everything else, including that, you can find us at frogpants.com/TMS and wherever podcasts are free. That's it. I think we're done, Brian. Do you want to, you got a song?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Okay. You should play
Wasabi. Thanks to Claire who put that video in the chat.
Yeah,
the
very
little
nice.
girl who eats wasabi. It's great.
Yep.
All right. Kim Wolf wrote in and said, hey, Brian, my husband, Whistle034 in the chat room, had a birthday on May 7th. This year has been a tough one, what with pandemic, a cancer diagnosis, and kidney surgery, all before the 1st of April. Oh, I hope Free Hotel Room is tuned out.
He's here today, so hey, Free
He
Hotel
was here
Room.
earlier, but I hope he's tuned out by now.
Okay, get out of here, buddy.
Let's see here. He's a great guy, loves all 6 of our crazy cats, motorcycles, all things Frog Pants, and we listen to TMS together every day. You don't have to play it on his birthday, but anything reminiscent of Roxy Music or Squeeze will be awesome. Thanks for all the laughs and great music each week.
Nice.
Well, by golly, Kim Wolf, I am super happy to play this for you. And I'm a big fan of Roxy Music, but I'm an even bigger fan of Squeeze. So when you say play a Squeeze cover, it's like it's a little treat for me as well. And normally I'd pick a cover of Squeeze, right?
Right.
But I think it's more fun in a case like this to actually have a cover by Squeeze. They don't do a lot of covers. When you've got songwriters like Chris Difford and Glenn Tilbrook, you don't need to do a lot of covers because you've got a constant stream of great songwriting that you can do yourself. However, one of the covers that they did, and this was part of the CD single from 1995's This Summer, which was the first single released from the Ridiculous album. They covered Blur, and they didn't cover the one song by Blur that Scott knows. They covered a different song.
Oh, there's a different song? I didn't even know there was another
There's a different song. Now,
okay.
I'm going to give you a little bit of homework because I did this myself this morning because I knew this would come up, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to ask him to do something that I wouldn't do myself. But after the show today, or whenever, when you're done streaming and adventure clubbing and whatever, and you're working or replying to email or whatever.
Yeah.
Say whatever.
So anything,
1,000
really.
times.
So really anything is what you're saying. Yeah.
Really anything. While you're doing that, pull up in your streaming service of choice, Park Life, the album Park Life by Blur.
Okay.
This was the height of the feud between Oasis and Blur when they were both battling it out to be the #1 album that year.
Okay.
And Park Life is a great, great album. It's so good.
Okay.
Anyway.
Oh, it's a whole album, not just a song. Okay, cool. I will.
Yeah, the whole album, Park Life. It begins with Girls and Boys, and that's a song you totally know.
All right. I've written it down. I'm going to listen to it after the show today.
Excellent.
Yep.
Excellent.
Post haste.
All right. So one of the songs on that album is a song called End of a Century. And Squeeze covered it as part of a tour that was a solo tour. Chris Difford and Glenn Tilbrook traveled across the U.S. and came to the Mercury Cafe in Denver. And I sat in a room with about, 30 people and watched them do a live set of Squeeze music. And they also did this cover, and it's just so good. It's a cover of End of a Century. Here are Glenn Tilbrook and Chris Difford of Squeeze going out to whistle.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Frog Pants Network. Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
Physically correct boy doll.
Yeah.
I screw up and did the thing that I do to signify that I'm done talking. Yeah, I talked a little more.